Estamos en Berlín, en el Congreso de la Asociación Europea de Neurología, con el doctor Christian Elger, del Departamento de Epileptología de la Universidad de Bonn, de Germany. Primera pregunta sería, ¿todavía se desconocen las causas de la epilepsia?
Welcome, Dr. Christian Elger. Hello.
Hello.
We're going to ask you the first question. Is it still unknown the cause of epilepsy? You will say it's still unknown?
We have no cause of epilepsy. We have a huge bunch of diseases, and this ranges from genetic defects, which are clearly identified, over acquired lesions like an Amundsen sclerosis, like developmental causes like focal cortical dysplasias, even going down to mitochondrial genetic defects, all causing epilepsy. So epilepsy is a kind of a state of the brain which is characterized by producing seizures after seizures on a chronic condition, and these conditions can be thousands.
So it's known, people will realize this.
La epilepsia tiene un problema que es el estigma social.
The epilepsy has a slight problem that we call, we say, the social stigma of the disease.
Yeah.
What you will say about that?
Yeah. There are two aspects. Firstly, the patient himself. He feels ashamed of a seizure. He doesn't want to have a seizure in public, so they withdraw from public. Most of the patients stay at home. They have difficulties getting partners because they're afraid in partnership to show that they have seizures. And secondly, there's the stigma from outside. There's still, because of the huge variability of causes, and they know patients who are mentally retarded having epilepsy, they say epilepsy is causing mental retardation, which is completely wrong. A cause causes mental retardation, and a cause causes in the same way epileptic seizures. So there's no hint up to now that seizures cause an additional damage in the brain in a considerable thing. If I always cite Julius Caesar, who conquered all Europe because just outside the small village, and with Asterix and Obelix, and he had an active epilepsy untreated.
La compañía EISAI ha presentado en Berlín los últimos datos del FICOMPA, del Peramparé, en el avance de epilepsia. ¿Cuáles serían esos datos, esos nuevos datos?
Okay, the company, EISAI, let's become the FICOMPA. What will be the data of the information of the products?
FICOMPA is one of the recent drugs. It's a completely new mechanism. We think the neuronal basis of epilepsy are high-frequency discharges, and via interacting with the so-called AMPA receptor, which is one of the receptors of the main excitatory transmitter in the brain, they block these high-frequency discharges in a completely new way, which does not harm other activities like memory or so. So the mechanism is new. It proved to be very effective in studies for focal epilepsy and secondary generalization. For this, it got a label in Europe a few years ago, and in clinical use, it proved to be so effective that it is superior to any other. In difficult to treat epilepsies with a lot of drugs, we became 15% seizure-free. This has never been shown before. This is published by Bernhard Steinhoff. And now, because we want to have a drug which is widely used to many reasons, and we know that a lot of drugs used in focal epilepsy aggravate primarily generalized epilepsies. And so the company tested this in patients with clearly primarily generalized seizures, and there it proved that it's very effective. In addition, it doesn't aggravate other types of seizures like myoclonic and absence seizures. So this is one of the new wide spectrum drugs, like probably valproic acid was in 1964, but probably much better than this. Yeah.
La neurología es una de las... Bueno, vamos a ver. ¿Está afectando más a la gente joven la epilepsia?
Well, you would consider that epilepsy is hitting more strong to the young people?
Sorry?
Is more epilepsy and the younger people? You will consider it is hitting more to the young people, the youngers?
No. Yep. This type of epilepsy usually starts in adolescence. Let's say 10, 15, they start, and usually they finish with this kind, not they finish, but the end of new start of this kind of epilepsy is, let's say, with 25. Very rarely it starts beyond. So this treatment is for the younger people, because this type of epilepsy is there with the recent label it has in use, and it will have here in a 1 month time or so in Europe.
Ya una última pregunta.
A last question, please.
¿La neurología es una de las especialidades médicas que más ha avanzado en los últimos años?
You will say the study of a neurologist is one of the one being advanced. It's the most advanced studies. You will say it is neurology.
To my knowledge, a study in this type of epilepsy with this quality control here was never done before. And it gave a high success rate in this highly selective group of patients. So we are clearly not mixing up secondary generalized where most of the drugs work. We have really an enrichment, a high enrichment of primary generalized epilepsy, and there it proved to be successful. This is a study never done before, very successful. So this good prognosis if nothing happens to the drug. It always can be if you have widely used then. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Christian Elger.
It was a pleasure to speak for Spain.
Gracias.